Hey there. Hi, it's Aradia here, and I'm starting a series called Conversations with Aradia. And I'll just tell you why. I had this thought the other day. I was reading something about Queen Elizabeth I, and I've met so many amazing people and incredible stories and different things that I have learned over the years. And I think that sometimes it's just best to talk about it, and then some of that information can come out, and also maybe other people have something to add to the conversation. So here goes. Um, Around about 2011, the winter of 2011, I um, I was actually homeless, and I didn't have anywhere to stay at that time. And I actually was, I won't tell you where, but I was staying at somebody's place that was just allowing me to stay. And I met this man at a bar. I was in a club, more like a sports kind of bar, and it was very empty. And this elderly man came in. Now recognize I'm in my 40s, and he's dressed in this nice suit and nice cropped beard and whatnot, and probably in his 50s, late 50s. He starts talking to me, asks me if I would like to accompany him to this after party. He's just been to the theater, and there's a party going on, and he doesn't want to go alone. Would I accompany him? And I knew that there was a reason why he was asking me. I sensed it. And I checked my pendulum, and pendulum agreed, said, "Sure, let's go with this guy." So I went off with him. First thing was his license plate said 666 on it, and I went, "Oh, really?" And he saw me noticing it right away. He said, "I didn't even have to ask for that." And then I went, now I really need to know more about this person. So we go to the after party. I find out that the play that he'd been seeing was a play called Chaos. And there were quite a few people in the room that were very elite people in the town. And we had a nice time. And I went into some conversations with this and that people that I knew, and and then we were leaving. That night, I was going to stay at my daughter's place, and I called her, and she said, "Actually, Mom, she was having an argument with her boyfriend at the time, and she said if you can find another place to stay, that would be good." So I told the man this, and he said, "Well, why don't you come and stay with me for the weekend?" He just lived outside of town, about 20 miles outside of town. He said, "I guarantee your safety. Everything will be fine. I want to talk to you." So I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." So I I went with him. It was this place out of town, and this is a winter time, okay? And there's a lot of snow where I am. And we get to the bottom. There's a little cabin there. He says, "Yeah, he pays someone to stay in the cabin." Oh, I forgot to mention, this man is a German baron. Okay, German baron. So we get to this smaller cabin where he has someone stay there that watches the grounds or whatnot. Then we park the car. Then we get on a skidoo and piling my stuff. We get onto the skidoo. I'm not sure how far we went, or it was a mile or two. We get to this beautiful little chalet, and so then we go in. It's nice little place, very dark, but dark wood, very obviously built, built well, and we started having conversation. Okay. Now, I had written a book, and in the book, I have some theories about time travel and how it could be done and how I thought it was being done. And so I start talking about that, and he jumped right on the bandwagon and was very upfront with me, completely serious, told me that oh yes, he'd been through the wormhole. In fact, he liked to go through it naked, and that he had been to many places. He told me that he had actually visited Queen Victoria the First. He showed me a coin, a gold coin from the era. He told me she had given it to him herself. He had an audience with her. He didn't say as much, but he did indicate he had sex with her. The man was a prolific sex machine. He really was like all kinds of pornography everywhere. I mean, this huge drawer and whatnot, and I won't go into too much detail. But he indicated he's definitely spent time with her. Okay. So, my intuition started reaching into that reality and trying to discern A, if he was actually telling me the truth, B, if he was telling me the truth, was he substantiating my theory on how to create the wormhole, C, what the fuck was he doing there? Why would he choose to go there? Why would they choose to send him there? Then there were other things in the place that really began to formulate my theory. There was a whole wall of pictures on the wall, and several of them were of Hitler, and then of him with the mustache. I recognized the similarity in the features. I realized he had to have been, I wouldn't call a clone, but certainly they definitely took Hitler's seed and put it in various people. When I asked him what was the most important thing in the world, he said procreation, which I thought was interesting. To me, that was a definite no. Actually, the most important thing is love. There were weapons all over the chalet, like some of them mounted and some of them, behind glass, these huge commando German knives. But there was also a pistol under the pillow in the bed. And needless to say, I was shocked. The whole experience really shocked me. But what's more is that after I left, I began to do some research on his family and discovered that their family owned a place called the Black Forest in Canada that is now no longer known as the Black Forest. And of course, there's a Black Forest in Germany, which I personally actually was there as a child, so I know about it. And Then, and so this Black Forest, same name, then it was sold, and now it has a different name altogether. But Eisenhower came to the Black Forest to go hunting during his time as president. I was quite sure, without a doubt, there was a passageway from his cabin, from his chalet, to this underground machine. The way the living room was set up, there was no TV, there was no technology in there at all, and it looked like the floor could be lifted up. I didn't check because I was sure that he was watching every move I made. However, Michael Prince definitely confirmed that the presence of an underground base right in this area. And the Baron did tell me, please do not go wandering around. There's things out there that you do not want to meet. I went, okay. So I was, it was really quite the experience. But for me, the clincher was this. When I did a search for people who looked like him, like same features, I found two of notable note. One was, get this, the Black Pope of the previous Pope, not Pope Francis, Pope John Paul VI, isn't it? Yeah, his Black Pope, identical features. And also Rajneesh, same features. And since then, I have met two other people who have the same features, all of whom carry a certain mentality and a certain strategy. One of them threatened my life when I was over in Europe. And another one was the guide in Gozo to the Temple Gigantea. So that's another story. But I really felt that you guys should all know about this. So yeah, it sure looks like they've had time travel for quite a while. And the Majestic 12 file talks about it, that they've had it since the 40s, back engineered. They actually, I read the report myself, that at the end of the war, supposedly when Hitler died, which I don't believe, but apparently, they say he died, but that particular laboratory was bombed. However, it was noted that at least two people got out through the time travel machine they had before it was bombed. So, yeah, that's it for now. We'll have further conversations. Peace out.